I'm David.R.Johnson. I'm a psychologist and a drama therapist.
There's been only one piece of knowledge that has been supported by research. That is the health benefits of play, cognitively, emotionally, socially, and morally to the growing child. Hundreds and thousands of research studies have all shown this. They've shown it, and it's been concluded 50 years ago. And still, you're a drama therapist, you go into a hospital, you go somewhere, and people say, well, where are the studies that show this is helpful? You do not need to apologize or feel ashamed or embarrassed about being a drama therapist. However, your culture, my culture, in fact, all cultures look down on play. We need to fix that. Developmental transformations is improvisational play. Children play, but also adults can play, and we try to get people to play. We try to get people to play a little bit like the natural child-parent relationship. In fact, that may be the most number one thing to bring happiness to people, which is to have a strong bond with your parents who care for you and have that be healthy and intimate. And those of us who did not get that are walking around as adults with a pain in our heart. We project it out into other people, or we seek to bring things in to fill the hole, like drugs or alcohol or sex, or we control other people. We try to dominate other people. It's all driven from this empty pain inside of ourselves that we did not get. A DVT definition of happiness is to celebrate your existence with those who created you. And that is our goal in DVT. No, it's not with your parent, it's with a therapist. So in the very beginning, many years ago, developmental transformations was simply play. We got people into doing free play and improvisational play. And then we realized it's really not about play, it's about intimacy. People have a problem with intimacy. People are often afraid of intimacy, or they don't think they need it. So the whole thing about developmental transformations was to basically, in play, develop intimacy and have the person explore the problems that they're having in having intimacy with the people in their lives. And then, over time, we began to realize, wait a minute, it actually goes deeper than that. It goes deeper into really the question of our existence. What am I doing here? And the thing about it is nobody knows. We arrive thrown into life. You don't go to some subway stop and you buy a ticket and you look for the thing and say, okay, here's the subway to existence, and take the subway to existence because you're choosing to. You come out of your mother's body, which is dark and warm and like that, and you go, have you any idea what, we don't remember. I don't remember, but you can see the pictures of children coming out of the womb, and they all go the same thing. They arch their back, and they go, "Wah!" We are thrown into every present moment. We don't know what's about to happen. It's all about to happen is new. The next moment has not happened. But nobody wants to live like that. Can you imagine getting up in the morning, and then you go and, you take your toothbrush, and then you put the toothbrush on, oh my God. I mean, that would be very exhausting. That would be tiring. So instead, we learn to do something. We learn to see things in terms of boxes and forms and names and things which repeat. It's all a repetition. It's Tuesday again. It's June 19th again. I'm in Korea again. I'm having breakfast with my wife again. And so why is that? Because it's reassuring. It's organizing. We can kind of know what's happening and we can predict what's happening, even though it's not true. Because you don't know what the toothpaste is going to be that day. You don't know what Korea is going to be that time. You don't know who your wife or husband is going to be the next day. And so what helps is we name everything. Korea, David Johnson, 2025, red, blue, green. We name everything. And then we tell you, you can't change the names. And so nothing changes. And then people feel bored. And you're trapped because you haven't changed the names. You're just doing the repetition. You've trapped yourself. So you need somebody to break in and free you. And that's a DBT therapist. You hire a DBT therapist to break in and free you from the prison that you've put yourself in. DBT, people who are interested in DBT share about two main attitudes toward existence. The first is that people are unnecessarily frightened of existence. And I don't mean being frightened about a car coming at you, or somebody who's stealing from you, or a lightning that's striking your house. Those things you should be afraid of. I'm talking about waking up in the morning and feeling anxious. I'm talking about being on an elevator with somebody and feeling nervous about being in an elevator with somebody. I'm talking about basically feeling that you're not sure about yourself, that you have to do something more, that kind of thing. The one thing you do not have to justify is your existence. You are all here. You do not have to justify that. And we're all equally here. We have come from our parents, who came from their parents, who came through evolution, who came from the stars, whatever, but we are here. And when that baby comes out of the mother, and the mother looks at the baby, and the baby looks at the mother says with her eyes, "You are here." It's only later that the mother says, "You're not smart enough. You're not as pretty as your sister. You're not going to be successful." You may have to justify your identity. Your identity can be broken. You can fail, but your existence cannot be broken. And in DBT, what we're going to try to do is to make you realize that you are unique, you are here, and you have every reason to be here, just like anyone else. And that can provide a lot of existential confidence that maybe wasn't communicated to you by your parents. The other attitude, the DBT attitude, is that people take themselves too seriously. People think that they are at the center of the universe. They think that the way they see it is probably right. So you do this with your child. You take a block, a wooden block, and then you put another wooden block on top, and you build a tower of blocks. That is what serious people do when they build a temple. But what does the child do when you build that tower of blocks? Yes, you knock the blocks down. Why? It's fun. So do people who are too serious appreciate this attitude of fun? No, they don't. So in DBT, we have the client build their little role play, build their scene, build their little story, and then we knock it down. And in the beginning, they feel, I really cared about that thought. But then they realize this is actually kind of fun, and then they do that. If we were truly enlightened, we would do that every morning. We would take all of our ideas about the world, all of our ideas about our family, my work, everything, and just boom, start over. So the basis of DBT, the core idea is being is unstable. It's unstable because things keep changing, because we're thrown into life and we don't know what's about to happen. Every new moment is completely new because it has never been before. So, what we try to do in DBT with all of this is we want people to be put into a situation in drama, a pretend situation in drama that calls up all of these issues so they can practice. So, unlike many forms of therapy, which are based on being a good enough mother who's nice and calm and kind of holding the container, in DBT, the therapist's job is to disturb the repetitions, to come for you to create a situation that you can practice dealing with. Number one, change. In DBT, the scenes keep changing, and we have the scenes keep transforming so that you have to keep adapting to the changes in the role play. Number two, body and mind. We want your body to be moving most of the time. We don't want you to get a chance to pretend you're only a mind. Too much of drama therapy is very verbal. People standing around and going, freeze. In DBT, we don't want to freeze. We want to move. And number three, people. We want DBT is about being with other people and dealing with other people. It's not an inner journey. It's not thinking about yourself. Most people are thinking about themselves too much. Has anyone ever been on a boat? A boat rocks. So what does somebody do when you start to feel nauseous because of the sway of the boat? You hold on to the railing of the boat. You grab onto the railing of the boat for support, but you forget that the railing is attached to the boat. And that's when you throw up. When we feel unstable, we reach out to grab something. We reach out to grab something for support. And most of the time, we grab somebody in our family. And the thing is, we don't want them to move. We want them to be stable. And so we try to control other people around us. This is what the Buddha meant when he talked about people clinging. And the clinging attachment, when they basically are in the turbulence of the world, they then leads to clinging behaviors. If somebody is coming at me to hit me, I maintain my center I grab them and then I just maintain my center and just let them go by. I don't grab them. In fact, that's how you win. You can be very small and you put your arm out and you let the other person grab onto it. And once they're clinging to you, you just fall. And then they go off balance. So in DBT, we're going to put you in a situation where you have to deal with another person, move your body, and keep changing the scenes to give you practice so that in life you can keep your balance, but dynamically, what we call a dynamic equilibrium. And that leads to not controlling other people and allowing other people to move in the way they're moving because you're not relying on them to provide you stability. So in DBT, we don't try to lower the instability of the world. We want to lower your fear of the instability of the world. Many approaches to drama therapy, this client's story is like the core. And DBT respects those stories, but the stories tend to be from the client's view of their center as if it's from their perspective. And what we want to do is to have the client see themselves from a different perspective. So we will actually try to break up the story and have them see that the story that they've told is a way of them stabilizing the world, but may or may not be true. And the most important thing is the therapist is participating in the play. Big difference. This may be the most important aspect of DBT compared to other approaches. In many other approaches, the therapist is on the side of the play, and the client is the person here moving, talking. Director is here setting the scene and providing support. And that's very effective. We don't have a criticism of that. It's just not the way we work, where the therapist is inside with the client. And the therapist is free, meaning the therapist does things on their own. In playback, everybody follows the teller's story. In psychodrama, the auxiliaries follow what the protagonist wants them to do. In DBT, the therapist is on the move. Every client tries to gain control over the therapist because that's the way we're supposed to work. To feel safe, I need you to follow what I'm saying. But in the world, it doesn't work that way. Other people are not listening to you. They're not listening to you. And they're not going to. Get used to it. Deal with it. Develop confidence that you know what you can do so you're not terrified.
I'm going to make a movement.
먼저 중심을 할 거예요.
You follow me.
따라하면 됩니다.
You change the movement.
그렇게 하고 누구 제가 중심 탁 걸으시고
We follow her.
그다음에 그 따라하는 거고요.
Then
그다음에 순서대로 이렇게 돌아가는 겁니다. 그다음 자, 우리는 기세 잡고 위로 올립니다.
나를 어떠한 동작이나 뭐 조각상 그런 걸로 만들어주세요. 내 몸의 한 곳을 당신 몸의 한 부분을 이용해서 어떠한 관계를 맺게 해주세요. 그리고 시작합니다.
No, go.
I'm David.R.Johnson.
Hi, I am Sue Ann. Where do we hide?
지금 두 사람은 인형이 된 상태고요. 어딘가로 숨으려고 하고 있습니다.
Maybe.
No, don't do that cry thing. Don't cry. Don't cry. Okay. You think about it.
한번 생각해봐.
They can tolerate.